Welcome to the Marist Young Adult Online Advent Retreat. I'm BB Chang and I'm your host for this gospel-based retreat. Here's how the retreat works. Each week, you will hear the Sunday Gospel followed by reflection from a member of our Marist family. After the reflection, some questions will be presented for your consideration. This week's reflection has been prepared by Valerie Savino, a theology teacher and campus minister at Mount St. Michael Academy in the Bronx, and a member of the Marist Evangelization Advisory Board. The season of Advent marks the beginning of a new liturgical year, and during this time we prepare for the newness which Jesus brought to our world. As you enter into the retreat, take a moment to quiet yourself. Think of new things you would like to bring to life within yourself this Advent. Now pray the following prayer. A reading from the Gospel of Luke. Jesus said to his disciples, "There will be signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars, and on earth nations will be in dismay, perplexed by the roaring of the sea and the waves. People will die of fright in anticipation of what is coming upon the world, for the powers of the heavens will be shaken. And then they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. But when these signs begin to happen, stand erect and raise your heads, because your redemption is at hand. Beware that your hearts do not become drowsy from carousing and drunkenness and the anxieties of daily life, and that day catch you by surprise like a trap. For that day will assault everyone who lives on the face of the earth. Be vigilant at all times, and pray that you have the strength to escape the tribulations that are imminent and to stand before the Son of Man."
In most religious stories, there are always signs that mark the current times, as they come and go throughout our life cycle. This is ever more present in our own Christian story as we embark on this Advent season. This week, the Gospel of Luke is no different, as it begins with telling us the sign of the times as we prepare for the coming of the Son of Man. This season, the first Gospel reading is particularly interesting because, to me, it clearly echoes our current situation quite well. Like it says in Luke, nations will be in anguish and people will be stunned at the roaring of the seas. Well, it is 2012 and nations are up in arms, and the eastern coast has just weathered one of the worst hurricanes it has ever seen. As bleak as this reality seems, the Gospel of Luke provides us comfort and hope as we are on the watch for the Son of Man. Luke says that we will see our Redeemer with great power and glory, and that in the midst of these turbulent signs, we are to stand up with our heads held high because we are going to be saved. In our daily lives, it is easy to get bogged down with worry or anxiety about what we will encounter moment to moment. But as Christians, we must look upon this Advent season with great hope, because we know that when we encounter Christ, all will be right in the world. To me, the most interesting part of this selected reading is the title, Son of Man. As its meaning in the New Testament has been a topic of much debate, I would like to offer up my own interpretation of this title for Christ. We know in our studies of God that Jesus is made up of both divine and human natures. With that being said, we have seen countless examples where Christ is the sole Redeemer of all humanity. But if we take this idea and flip it, tracing it back to Genesis, we can also see that God created all human beings with Christ consciousness embedded within us. Therefore, every act of every human being gives way to the identity of Christ, because he lives on earth, through all of our daily actions. Therefore, the true Spirit of Christ is born from all humanity. In other words, it has been said that it takes a village to raise a child. But what if it takes all of humanity to see Christ? Archbishop Desmond Tutu says that the only way one can be human is if we recognize the humanity in others. Wouldn't this idea be similar to Christ? That the only way we can see Christ is through the actions of our neighbors. With that being said, I would like to offer up the words of Christian writer Dorothy Day for you to ponder. She writes, "Writing a book is hard because you are giving yourself away. But if you love, you want to give yourself. You write about yourself because in the long run, all man's problems are the same. Putting pen to paper so many hours a day when there are human beings around who need me, when there is sickness and hunger and sorrow, it is a painful job. I feel that I have done nothing well, but I have done what I could." Didn't Christ give himself away out of love for humanity? As we begin this Advent season, I would like to leave you with a task. Reflect upon your acts of charity, your acts of love. How will you birth Christ through your actions for others? What good works have you done lately to help a fellow human being in need? If you cannot answer these questions, make it a priority this Advent season to do at least one thing for someone else and see how it can change your life. You may not feel like you've done anything well, but maybe you're doing all that you can.
Spend some time reflecting on the questions. Feel free to share your thoughts and insights on the events page for the online Advent Retreat on Facebook. If you would like to see today's reading in print, please visit the website for the United States Catholic Conference of Bishops at www.usccb.org. Just click on December 2nd on the calendar located to the right side of the homepage. On behalf of the Marist Young Adult Program, thanks for participating in the first week of our Advent online retreat.